Hi everyone, Deborah here. Let's make some ephemera. So I've taken these book pages and I've trimmed the edges off them, and now I'm going to take a couple. I think if you use more than one it's going to work better because it'll be thicker, and fold it up from the bottom, and then I'm going to put a fold at the top because I like to have that thickness when I'm tucking something in. Now I'm just going to grab some washi, and this washi is quite wide. I like that because it'll really help it stick. So I'm just putting a piece down on top. I'm not going to worry too much about the back because this is going to be stuck in my junk journal, and just checking that that works. I've got a nice little pocket there. This next one I'm doing a fold from either end. So I'm basically making triangles on either end and then folding in, and I'm just scoring it with my hand. I could use a scoreboard if I wanted to, or even a bone scorer, but I haven't opted to do that. And then I'm just going to stick some washi. Again, I'm just using the same washi throughout this one. It's about 2.5 inches wide, so it's actually quite a good width, and just cutting it down with the scissors so that it doesn't I don't have too much stickiness around the place. And then just completing it now with some washi on the bottom, and so I get a nice little pocket in there. And there we go. The next one I'm doing is just folding the paper up, and I'm really just winging this. I didn't really have any thought when I started other than I wanted to use the book pages. So I've just folded a triangle and creased it down, and now I'm doing another fold. So I'm going to make a little pocket at the top, and the triangle's going to create two little pockets at the bottom. So I've just decided to fold those corners in rather than on the outside, so it's a bit neater, and now I'm going to go away and stitch it. So I've just stitched it down the centre, and that's meant that I've created 4 pockets with these book pages. I'm just sorting out what's going to fit where, because obviously the pockets are a bit thin, but they're very good for little tags and things. So I'm just pulling from my Tim Holtz ephemera there. For the next one I'm taking a single page and I'm folding it in quarters, and I've got the corners in the top right hand, and I start just by folding down the corners, each time leaving about 1/4 inch less, and do that for the 3 corners, and that's going to create pockets with this page. And now I'm going to use the washi tape and stick those down. I then went to the sewing machine and sewed around it to create the pockets. The next one I'm using the scoreboard, and I'm just making a score line every inch along the pages of the book. I've got a couple of pages stacked here just to give it that nice thickness. Now I'm going to start folding at those score lines just on top of one another so that I can create pockets. So I'm just working out what I was doing here, but I think I've got it figured out now. So I've got 2 pockets there, and I'm actually going to create a 3rd one as well. I took it back to the scoring board and just scored it a couple more times so that I could get 3 pockets in, and now I'm using the washi tape to secure it. I could sew this one as well, that would be another option, just to sew it down the sides, but I just thought for something different that I would just use washi tape. After I put the washi tape on the folds, I then did it on the edges as well so that it wouldn't come apart. Although once you stick it in the book it wouldn't either, but I've just, because I'm not putting this straight into a junk journal, I thought that I would secure the edges with some more washi. I'm sorry, but this one's a little bit out of frame. My computer battery went dead, so it didn't really pick it up very well. I wasn't able to watch what I was doing. So I apologise for that, but hopefully you can see in the picture now that you've got your little pockets there that fit things in them. Now I'm going to make some envelopes, and I start by cutting the paper into a square and then folding it on the crossway. Then take the front flap of the paper and fold it down, and then fold in the two sides. And now I'm going to secure that with some washi tape across the bottom. Because I've used 2 book pages, I also need to secure the flap of the envelope. I don't have to, but I wanted to, just to sort of neaten it all up. So I'm just using some more washi to do that with, and to create, you know, a nice envelope that will stick on the page. I'll be able to put things in and out of it easily, and there won't be loose sort of pages flapping around. So I've put the washi on and I'm just trimming it up now. For some reason I got on a roll with this, so I've trimmed up some more book pages. I think these are 4 by 4 inches, and I'm just repeating the process again. So folding it in half diagonally, folding the top flap, the front flap down, and then the 2 side flaps in to create your envelope, and then add some washi to it. So this envelope is made from the 4 by 4 inch, and the other one is a 5 by 5 inch piece. I really got carried away with this, and I just kept making them and making them. What I found is that once you get into it, they're really super easy to make. You can knock them up in no time, and so that's kind of what I did. I got this production line going and just made, you know, heaps and heaps of them, which I'll show you in a moment. Just in case you haven't seen it before, this is a repeat of the process. So basically rewind and repeat to make these little envelopes. To decorate them, I'm using some flowers from little birdie flowers. I've got 2 different types. The other thing I'm doing is just tearing some book page up into the general shape of a flower, and then kind of creasing it a little bit. And you can see all the little envelopes that I made, plus the other stuff that I did at the beginning of this video. I'm just inking the edges of that book page now, and I've stuck the flower down, followed by the book page, and then one of the tiny little flowers from Little Birdie Flowers. I really like these flowers. I just thought that they were just adorable. The other thing I like about them is the big pack. There's like 100 flowers in there, and they were pretty inexpensive. And I think in the little flowers there's 50 flowers in there. So I think if you're going to buy flowers, you may as well get a lot for your money. So I'm just using them plain, but the reason why I bought these white or creamy coloured flowers was so if I want to spray them into a colour, I can. I prefer to do that with my lace and ribbon and flowers and everything that I can, and that way I can make them the colour that I want, and I don't have to go out and buy more flowers just to colour match something. So I've got into my production line mode again, and I've started by putting a couple of the flowers down on the envelopes, and then the crumpled book page torn up to look like a flower, and then finally a little tiny flower from Little Birdie. And now I've got all these lovely little bits of ephemera, and I'm just testing out what's going to fit in what, but most of them are a reasonably big size. I think my favourite though are the cute tiny little envelopes that I made using the 4 by 4 inch book page. So I hope you enjoyed the video and it's given you some ideas on what to do with your book pages. Leave me a comment if you want to, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.